folks, Desirous here for another Breaking Gamefabe episode, and this is the pay-per-view preview. The pay-per-view coming up is RCWA, which is basically a no disqualification event. The rules are all out the window for this, kind of like Extreme Rules. It's an interesting it's a concept I like. I don't mind it as long as the matches vary and stuff. Not every match is going to be Extreme Rules, but there won't be any disqualifications. For example, the Tag Team Championship match will be no disqualification, but it'll still be a standard tag team match. Before we get to that, we'll get to the pre-show, the RCWA pre-show. I just want to say that the order I preview these matches in is not necessarily the order they will occur, although the RCW Championship match will be last. Okay, so on to the RCWA Anarchy pay-per-view pre-show. We have the RCWA Tag Team Championship match, the Disciples, Scorn and Rufio, against the Stevens Twins. Now, when the Disciples won, they were the heels. They beat the Powerhouse at the Uprising pre-show, and typical heel versus face, but on the Uprising pre-show, the Stevens Twins defeated Tiger Power. So there was heel champions and heel challengers. I decided that, because heel versus heel rarely works, so I decided of the teams to turn, I'd turn Scorn and Rufio face. And that was out of the respect against the Powerhouse. They beat them clean twice, they didn't cheat. And also the couple of other things like the Stevens Twin talking trash to the Powerhouse and the Disciples. So it was something, Scorn and Rufio, Tyler and Travis, they have this whole arrogant thing going about, and I was toying with a face turn for them before Uprising, but decided against it. I think Scorn and Rufio, they're not exactly faces, they're anti-heels, but they're kind of like, there's this whole thing, are they my disciples? Are they like the Academy version of the Blood Brothers? An extension of that. So, with me being a face now, the Blood Brothers being faces, it makes sense for them to be the faces as well. Plus, I think they've helped out Brad a couple of times. So, Tag Team Championship match, Scorn and Rufio against Travis and Tyler. I will be playing that match because, we'll see. But, it could be a good tag team match. Like the RCW World Tag Team Championship match, it will be no disqualifications. But it'll still be a basic tag match. They can just use a chair if they want. There'll be no 5 count for the refs, for the illegal man to get out and stuff like that. On the same show, we have the number 1 contender match for the Tag Team Championships. The Powerhouse against Robinson, Lassiter and Lance Anderson. At the Rage in the Cage pre-show, there was a 6-man tag with the Syndicate against Robinson, Lassiter, Dwayne Huntley and Lance Anderson, and I kind of kept them not as an official unit, but they've got each other's backs if they need it, and kind of taking a step up now, and they're going to enter the tag team division, because Robinson Lassiter has been around, and he was in the Renegade Rumble. He and TJ Gospel are actually in the Renegade Rumble, the proper one. Not an RCWA Rumble, right? That was in the full roster Renegade Rumble. So Lassiter's had some luck, and he's been pushed pretty well, but he's kind of like been moved to the wayside a bit, considered with a lot of things that have been going on lately. So this is a chance to get him back in there, and he and Lance Anderson teaming up against Jacob Black and Seth Ronson, the first and the previous RCWA Tag Team Champions. It should be an interesting match. Anderson's a big guy, Jacob Black's a big guy, Seth Ronson's a bit smaller, Robinson Lassiter's a bit smaller. There's an interesting dynamic there. It should be a good, I think, all-face tag team encounter. And then we also have Wayne Huntley against Chris Partridge. Match was made official on the final RCWA show when they did that nose-to-nose thing. Partridge blindsided but got battered by a batshit crazy Brad Taylor. He was really reaching the end of his rope. So yeah, that's it could be a filler match, but I wanted something for Huntley to do because Huntley, with his Chavo Guerrero entrance and his Kanye West custom track, gets a stupid pop. So a massive cheer for him when he comes out. So I wanted to get him on there to liven things up a bit. Because it doesn't matter how hard you push some of these guys. Both my main champ, Brad and TJ, their ovations could be better. That's why I'm hoping the WWE 13, this whole live experience thing, is WWE Live is a lot better and it makes the crowd respond better depending on momentum and stuff. Maybe it will, but I wanted to throw this match in there and, you know, just to get a good thing for Huntley going, because based on his reactions, I'm considering doing more with him as we go forward. Alright, I haven't got a full 6-match card. I'll probably throw in an on the night match, but cause I might want to do something with Rex Wesley or Blueberry and Jax. A lot of guys that should be on there that aren't. I might do a battle royal. It's a simple little thing to do. It gets other guys on the card. The other confirmed match, television championship match. My boy Brad Taylor defending against Jay Cassidy in a last chance Hell in a Cell match. Basically, if Cassidy loses, neither he nor any other syndicate member can challenge for the television championship. That includes Rambo, Partridge, and Wesley. They cannot challenge for the television championship while Brad is champion. That, of course, only applies to this current reign. If he loses it and then wins it back again, the stipulation will be nullified. But I'm not going to do anything where, if it occurs, I'm not going to, do where Brad loses it and wins it just so they can carry on challenging. Because, to be honest, the Syndicate feud's run its course. This is it. This is the blow-off to the Syndicate feud, and I'm hoping to move Brad on to other things. And maybe move the Syndicate onto other things. And Hell in a Cell, it might seem a bit odd on a pre-show having such a big match on an Academy show, also just 2 months after Rage in the Cage, but I just wanted to put it on there because every other match is standard except with a no disqualification rule. It also shows how pissed off Brad is. Sneak attack after sneak attack, cheap shot after cheap shot, and all that stuff. Brad just wants done with him. And he is my son, so he will go to those lengths to make sure they're done. And the 5th match, confirmed, the main event, is TJ Gospel against Jez Clark. TJ's title reign hasn't exactly set the world on fire, but that's been partially down to me and partially down to the opponent. Before, because he was facing Rex Wesley. Good match against Hammond at Rage in the Cage. The Uprising match for Wesley was disappointing. The rematch a couple of weeks ago, on RCWA, was a lot better. But Rex just didn't present much of a challenge to TJ. And I'm hoping that Jez Clark will. Because Jez is in the same weight category, they're both super heavyweights. Hopefully, this should be a good hard-hitting brawl. And they can both, hopefully Jez will present more of a challenge to TJ than Rex Wesley did. That's not to say Wesley's out of the title picture altogether. He might, crawl his way back up, but I think Rex needs to re-establish some credibility. He does in my eyes anyway, and I've booked this thing. So that's it for the pre-show. RCW Anarchy, the actual pay-per-view itself, has 7 matches. I'll be playing one in exhibition to make up the numbers. Again, not in the exact show order. We have the Hardcore Championship match. Desirous, myself, defending against Combat Matt. In what was going to be heel Desirous against a face Combat Matt. But that ain't the case now, is it? Thanks to what Combat Matt did to Brad Taylor, his own grandson. Now, it's a face Desirous, a vengeful Desirous, a pissed off daddy Desirous, against a treacherous granddad Combat Matt. So, I'll probably put that in as an Extreme Rules match. And I will not be showing any mercy. I will welcome a competitive match, but if he doesn't put up much of a fight, then I won't be disappointed in the slightest. And then, to tie into that, we also have Dragasan against Christian Fox, in which Desirous' 35% stake in RCW is on the line. If Dragasan wins, Desirous gets to run Heatwave, and Rosco will control Revolution and Renegades, and most likely the RCWA shows. If Fox wins, Rosco wins it all. He controls everything. So there's that dynamic there, and there's also the fact that it was Rosco who got Combat Matt to attack Brad. So, there's a lot riding on that, not just the 35% stake in the company, but family pride as well, I guess. The World Tag Team Championship match, standard tag team match but no disqualifications. The Blood Brothers, Wilf and Steinmetz, against the Two Dirty Bitches. Uprising rematch. Like I say, it's a normal tag team match, no disqualifications. So it probably won't be as epic as their TLC match, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what they can do. Wilf will be playing that match. The actual real Wilf. Mr. Wilf 1978, he has 2 episodes of NGW up. His little fed that he's got going. And like me, he gives a damn about the tag team division. Unlike me, he trusts the AI with gimmick matches. I love you really, Wilf. Not like that. But yeah, so that'll be an interesting match to see. Especially considering all 4 guys are now technically faces. Then we have the 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. Ross Lee, who defeated CW Longley at Uprising 2, defends against CW Longley at Anarchy 2. It's a 2 out of 3 no disqualification match. I was gonna do it an Iron Man match, but I just thought I didn't want to. Don't feel ready doing a half-hour match yet for upload, or an hour match. On the game, it's a hell of a different animal to what it is on TV. So I just did it a 2 out of 3 falls match. No disqualifications. Ross has had his payback on Longley for his betrayal at Fight for Survival, so now there's really nothing to prove for Ross. Longley wants the title back. Ross wants to keep the title and build a good run. So, there you go. It's about the Intercontinental Championship, 2 of my more technically sound guys, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And then we come to a grudge match. Shaq versus Robbie Flash. 2 former industry members. They were on the same side at Uprising, opposing Rosco Quinn. They had Travis Taylor with them as well. Taylor's off filming his film with Disco Dave. But yeah, there's things like Flash after a match with Razor Rob, the UWA champion on Revolution, turned face by refusing a handshake from a face. I don't get how that works, but it happened, so I ran with it. I decided that Flash thought, well, you know, this ain't all it's cracked up to be. I'm getting nowhere bullying people and trying to intimidate my way into title situations because it just isn't working. Whereas Shaq's still the same stubborn person who thinks that that's the way forward, and that he's got a right to do that based on his UWA reputation. I believe it was that got him fired from UWA. So, I've got the face Flash against the heel Shaq. It is two former allies just going at it. And we also have the #1 contender match. Scorpion versus Griffin Abels versus Paul Haynes versus Gary Gibb. Scorpion and Griffin Abels on Roscoe's team at Uprising. They were victorious. That's basically how they got this match. Roscoe was, saying thanks and shit for helping me. This is your reward. Haynes and Gibb seem to wonder why exactly that earned them a #1 contender match. Especially considering me and Dragasan beat Scorpion and Abels. Haynes and Gibb themselves beat Scorpion and Abels. On the last Revolution, Haynes beat Abels. Yeah, Scorpion beat Gary, but they also lost to the two dirty bitches. Griffin and Scorpion did. So, wins matter. They shouldn't be in this match really, but it just goes to serve against more of this unrest against Roscoe Quinn. I've got it in my mind, do I want to win that? I'm not going to say. But, going forward, it helps, and it's one thing that I will try my damnedest not to change. Like I said, Combat's heel turn changed a lot of things, because I wasn't going to go face. Not until, next year. I wasn't going to go face, but it's premature, but it happens. And we come to the main event. By that I mean the last match on the card. RCW champion Sean Savory making his first defence against the man he won it from at Uprising 2, Tyler Harris. Now, results have been fairly equal. Both men have won matches, both men have lost matches. It's, I don't think either man's been buried. Savory is the champion, Harris is the former champion. Both men have a chance here in a street fight or no holds barred match. They have a chance to really do something good. Harris is a brawler, Savory is more of a technical guy. But we'll see how Savory adapts in a match where there's no rules and basically everything's out the window. This is anarchy and anything could happen. So they say. But yeah, it's an RCW championship is on the line. It's the new undisputed belt instead of the Attitude Era belt. It's Sean Savory's first defence. We're going to see how well he carries that belt and see if he's living up to the hype that I've kind of built him up to. He owned the Renegade Rumble, 16 eliminations, came out at #3. He was very impressive in Rage in the Cage in the Elimination Chamber match. Uprising, I thought was a good match. And so, when all the rules are out the window, when there's no control, we're going to see how well and how he represents as champion. Big test here for Savory. Harris is a 2-time RCW champion. His first reign was only a transitional one, like I said in another previous video. Sometimes I'll do a transitional reign just to see how it goes, just to further a storyline. His second reign was better, but he still didn't really set the world on fire. We're going to see if Sean Savory can. And that about concludes this pay-per-view preview. I've covered the pre-show and I've covered the actual pay-per-view itself. It's something I'm looking forward to. I hope to have it up, the pre-show this Saturday. I'm filming this on Sunday. It'll go out later, but the pre-show this Saturday, the pay-per-view itself Sunday. Failing that, it will be the weekend after. I will put the pay-per-views up on the weekends. I won't put them midweek, regardless of whether they're done or not. And next, I've got 3 breaking Gamefabes to get out. I've got this, I've got the week 4, I've got the week 3, because week 3 just ran so much longer than the others. So I've got 3. I've got an half-hour video, I've got this 20-minute video right now, and I've got a 13-minute video. So there's a lot of stuff coming. I've also got the little promo vignette thing. Like the Uprising one, I've got one planned for Anarchy as well, so I'll put that up first. Then the pre-show, hopefully this Saturday, failing that next Saturday, and then the pay-per-view this Sunday or next Sunday. We'll see how it goes. Anywho, that is about wraps it up for this pay-per-view preview and this 3rd back-to-back episode of Breaking Gamefabe. You will see me next time for the pay-per-view review, where I'll go over what happened. You will see me then.